Welcome to Session 6 of our Visual Strategies for Individuals with ASD and Related Disabilities. This is a series, a 10-month series, and so we are over halfway through. And so welcome back and thanks for joining us. And today we're going to talk about how to make choice boards and how to teach choice-making skills. So before we get started, I want to make sure that everybody has the materials that are going to be needed. You're going to need a printer, some cardstock or printing paper, scissors, a laminator, or if you don't have a laminator, then you can use contact paper or clear packing tape, Velcro or other types of adhesive like sticky tack, double-sided tape, anything like that. You'll need the printed handouts from our website and the templates that we'll be using for today, and a paper plate. So if you could take a few minutes and make sure that you have all of those materials gathered up. If you still need some things, then go ahead and see if you can get those things right now. And if you are watching this are doing this as a self-study course and it's not a live session, then go ahead and press pause on your video player until you can gather up the materials that you need, and then you can come back with us. So take a few minutes to do that now. So before we begin, if everyone could please turn off your camera and your microphone on your computer. So the green buttons that have a microphone and a camera that are circled here, you need to click those buttons and they will turn from green to red. That tells you that your microphone and your camera are both off, and that will prevent us having any feedback from your microphone and also from your face suddenly appearing over our video conferencing for everyone to see. So if you could go ahead and do that now while we're waiting to begin. Now, before we begin, I'd like to make sure that everyone has completed their pre-test and printed their templates and handouts. So if you look at our site, you can see there's a place to sign in. We really need you to sign in. There's also a place to upload a photo, which is your assignment at the end. You can upload a photo of yourself with the support that you have made. We also have the PowerPoint loaded there, the notes for what we're going to be doing tonight. And we have a pre-test, and we need you to take that pre-test before we get started, and a post-test and evaluation, and we need you to take those after we get done with the course. So go ahead and take your pre-test now if you haven't already done that. And for those of you that need to pause this, go ahead and press pause and come back whenever you're finished. So today we're going to talk about choice making and teaching choice making skills, and then also visual supports that will help us to teach choice making skills and also to elicit responses from the people that we are providing choices for. So choices are a really wonderful way to elicit communication from individuals with autism. We can, because there's so many ways that you can provide choices all day long, and interesting choices and varieties of choices without doing a whole lot of extra work. So choices are a wonderful way to start eliciting that communication. Another good reason to provide choices is that choices make kids think. They have to consider their options and they have to choose. Choices also help to avoid power struggles, and we really want to avoid those power struggles whenever we are trying to work with our kids. Choices also build relationships because instead of demanding, we're giving options. So it helps to build that relationship. And then also, choices also build self-confidence. One of the ways that we can start working on self-determination and self-efficacy skills at a very young age is through choice making. So even kids that have very significant disabilities, we can start working on that self-determination with them so that they can gain independence. And these are things that will be useful skills whenever they get to be adults. So how many choice-making opportunities can you incorporate in a single day? Well, let's look at the pictures here and think about whenever you go to fix yourself a drink. First of all, you open your cabinet and you choose a cup. There's a variety of cup options. Some of us have our favorite cups and we choose that same cup every time. But we have options and we have choices, and so we choose a cup. And then, after we have our cup, we choose what goes in it. So that right there is us making a variety of choices in a very short amount of time, because there's lots of different things that can go in their cup. Whenever we're giving choices to kids, we want to make sure that we are giving them choices in a positive way. So some examples of giving choices are you're welcome to wear your coat or carry it. So that's a real simple choice that a child can make that will give them a lot of chances to practice. Would you like to read with me or Mrs. Green? I can discuss this at 11 or at 3 o'clock. Which would you prefer? But a caution is, don't turn your choices into threats. We don't want to say, do your math lesson or lose your recess, because that is a threat. So we want it to still be a choice. There are lots of different modes of choice making. One of the most simple choice making modes is an active-passive choice system, which we're going to get into a little bit later. Second is two choices with real objects. So basically, if you are in your kitchen and you hold up an apple and an orange and you say, which would you like? And then the person can point to the apple or point to the orange, or say, I want the apple, I want the orange, or make any kind of verbal approximation. You can have multiple choices using categorized groups of symbols. So you may have a choice board that has lots of different snack options on it. So you may have one choice board that has goldfish crackers, animal crackers, yogurt, fruit chews, and then they would choose from those because it's in one category. And then the next one are prepared choice boards. So we would take and make a choice board ahead of time, and then we're going to put them in various orientations. So being able to use a choice board and being able to vary the way that those symbols are presented. So sometimes they may be presented in options of 2. Sometimes there may be 9. Sometimes they may be in a circle. Sometimes they may be in a straight line. Sometimes they may be in a square. That is a higher level skill because you really have to concentrate whenever it changes every time what you're looking at. And then the highest level is just verbally presenting choices. So, saying, would you like to eat spaghetti or chili for dinner? And then verbally making a choice. So sometimes our kids might not be able to verbally make a choice, but here's some examples of some choice boards that I have seen used in different areas to be able to elicit choices from individuals with autism, and in order to be able to build those choice-making skills. This is a choice board for break time, and so they would choose, they could choose Legos, drawing, reading books, playing computer, puzzles, listening to music, trampoline, or swing. And those are all using, well, you can see there's kind of a combination of line drawings and actual photographs. So what do we do if the child won't choose? Because it happens sometimes. So typically what we'll do is that we give them a choice and then we wait 10 seconds. And then we'll use a firm voice and we'll say, I see you didn't make a choice, I'll choose for you. And then we'll make that choice for them. Hopefully, after they've done this a couple times, then they will start to realize that it's better if they made their own choice. So some procedures for giving choices are that you always want to give 2 choices that you like. It's our way of being able to control the situation. They're still going to choose something we like, but they're just going to have some choice in it. So we're going to be able to provide them with 2 options that we can live with. We never want to give them an option that we're not going to let them have. So that moves into the next one. Never give a choice unless you are willing to let the child accept the consequences of his choice. Because the first time they choose it, if we don't let them have it, then they're not going to believe in our system anymore. Never give a choice if the child is in danger. If a child is running out into the street, it's not time for choices. It's time to prevent the danger. Delivery is also very important. We want to keep it positive. Would you rather sit with your dad or sit with me? Feel free to eat your snack in the kitchen or out on the patio. What would be best for you? Brushing your teeth before you eat breakfast or brushing your teeth after you eat breakfast? So we can give some choices. We just want to keep them positive. So what do we do if whenever we're working with the child, their choices are not very clear? Sometimes we can't tell what they're choosing. So some things we can do are we can use real objects and only use 2 at a time. We can place those objects farther apart so they actually have to reach one way or another to make the choice. And then we can rearrange the orientation. So if we think that maybe they're always choosing the item on the right-hand side, then we can switch things around. Maybe even you put things in a circle so that we can see if they're really choosing what they want to choose or they're only choosing something that's on the right side. So, what if a student is too passive to make choices? We do have a tool for that can help you. It's an active-passive choice system with 2 options. So this is a real simple process because some kids, they won't respond whenever you give them choices. So an active-passive choice system is that there's choice A that would be kind of a neutral choice, like a laundry scoop, something they really don't care whether they get or not. And then choice B would be something highly motivating, something that they love, like with my little girl, it would be one of the little sing-a-majig toys that you push the belly and it sings. And then choice A, the passive one, and the default would be something like a laundry scoop. So whenever the child is being passive, they get the neutral item, the laundry scoop. Whenever they're being active, then they get the thing they really love. So, if let's say I put my 2 choices out, and maybe my child looks over at choice B and kind of reaches for it. Then we're going to give them choice B. We're going to consider that being active and give it to them for like maybe 3 minutes. And then we're going to revert back to choice A, so give them A back until they get active again. And we're going to try and shape this behavior and get them to where they come to closer and closer approximations of actually making a choice or pointing at an object. So if choice A here is a radio, choice B is a bird, who wouldn't love a bird, then the student will get choice A while they're being passive, but as soon as they reach for that bird or look at that bird really closely, then we're going to give them choice B until for about 3 minutes, and then we can give them choice A back and wait for another active moment. So what do we do if something that used to be a choice is not a choice anymore? You know, sometimes we don't have a chance to go to the grocery store and we run out of something. Typical kids are told no all the time. So our kids with autism, we have to tell them no also, and we have to teach them to understand that sometimes things are not available. So if something is not currently a choice, do you think we should remove the symbol from our choice board or the object? Should we just remove it, pretend like it's not there? No, we probably shouldn't, because our kids are going to remember that it was there, and that's probably when we'll start seeing some behaviors. They're going to start looking for that item. Should we just cover it up? What do you think? No, we should probably not just cover it up, because then they're just going to be pulling the top or the cover off and looking for the thing that they really like. Should we just replace it with something different? No, again, we should not replace it with something different. We should, because if it's not something they're going to like as much, then they're still going to know that their other item wasn't there, and they're going to react to that. So what we want to do is we want to teach, use this moment to teach. So should unavailability be indicated using the international symbol for no? Yes, that's right. We are going to use the international symbol for no, cover up the item that's not available, and teach them that this item is not available. You have to choose something else. So should we redirect them to make an alternative selection? I kind of told you the answer already. Yes, we're going to try and get them to choose something that is available. And should we explain to them why it's not a choice? Yes, you know, if that child can handle that much verbal stimulation, then yes, let's explain to them why it's not a choice right now. So here's an example of a choice board, and this would be for snack. And so with our child, if yogurt is their favorite thing in the world, they get it every time they come to snack, and one day you forgot to go to the grocery store and you're out of yogurt, there's no more. So what will we do? Well, we're going to use the universal symbol for no, and we're going to put it over the yogurt, and we're going to explain yogurt is not available today. Make another choice. And so we're teaching the child how to respond to no, and then also what to do when things are not available. So right now we're going to make a choice board. And so the first steps to making a choice board are that we are going to decide on an activity that we want to use the choice board for, and you're going to need to write down the vocabulary that you're going to need. We're going to choose the type of symbol system. Remember how we talked about last time, you can use actual objects, photographs, symbols, words, whatever the person you're working with needs, we're going to use that type of symbol system. If you need actual objects, then go ahead and gather those, and also you may need something sturdy like cardboard or a cookie sheet or something to put those actual objects on. You can also make line drawings and by drawing them yourself, so using colored pencils, markers, pencil, crayon, anything like that. And then if you need photographs or pictures from the internet, then you can take this time to make them using the techniques that we learned in session 1 and print those out. So everybody go ahead and get ready to make your choice board by doing these things, and I'm going to give you 20 minutes to go ahead and do that, and then we have a video of me going through the process and doing this on my choice board. So you have 20 minutes and here's the video. Okay, so the first steps to making our choice board is that we're going to decide on an activity that we could use a choice board with, and think of the vocabulary that we're going to need to search for. So thinking that I'm going to do my choice board for chores, so I'm going to give a choice of let my child choose which chore they'd like to do first and which one they'd like to do next, so that hopefully we can get all the chores completed, but they're still having choice in the matter. So I'm going to go to www.google.com because the child I am making the choice board for will be using photographs from the internet. Now, if the child you're working with needs actual objects, or if they need line drawings, then you can do those in a different way. So remember how we went back and said that you could collect actual objects to use for those children, or you can either use a program like BoardMaker to get line drawings, or sometimes clip art, or you can draw the images yourself. So I'm thinking for my chores, I have take out the garbage. So I'm going to look for an image. I'm typing in take out the trash image. Oh, so we'll see. We have here. If anything looks like taking out the trash. Maybe we'll look for garbage can. Here we go. So I'm going to actual photograph of what looks like our garbage can at home. So this one looks like ours. We'll do Control and then click, copy the image, and then I am going to open my word processing document, click inside of it, we do Control and click again, and then do Paste Special. Okay, and there's my image. So I'm going to resize it a bit, then minimize that window. Another chore at my house is vacuuming. So I'm going to search for vacuum cleaner image. And I'm going to find one that looks like my vacuum cleaner at home. Do Control, copy image, go back to my Word document, click inside, do Control Paste Special. Okay. Move my my garbage can. Make it a little smaller. Then I'm going to think of one more chore for my house would be, let's see, walk the dogs. So I found the picture. See, there's lots of pictures of walking the dogs. Let's see if I see one that maybe has a kid walking the dogs. Oh, this kind of looks like my dog. So maybe I'll pick this one. So I'm going to Control Copy the image. Control Paste Special. Okay. Move it. Oh. What happened to my other images? Let's do Edit, Undo. Edit, Undo. Try this again. I'm going to push Return to move my other images down. And Control Paste Special. There we go, that's much better. So I'm going to make him a little bit smaller. And so now I'm thinking for this activity I'm only going to give 3 choices at a time. It's either the 3 things that I want them to do, and now I'm going to print my Word document so that I can use these pictures on my choice board. So go ahead and get started and either find your actual objects, make your line drawings, or go on the internet, gather some pictures from Google Images, or you can use your camera to make photographs if you like. And you will have 20 minutes to do this. If you are watching this as a self-study, then go ahead and click pause on your video while you're getting this done. So now that you're finished with step 1 and you have either your pictures, your symbols, or your line drawings, your actual objects, whatever it is that you're going to use, then now it's time to do our cutting and laminating. So you're going to need to cut out anything that you're going to use. As always, if you want to, if you don't have cardstock, or if you need to make your items that you've printed more sturdy, then you can glue them onto something else and cut around it. You can also laminate. You also need to laminate your items. So if you don't have a laminator, don't worry about it. You can use contact paper, packing tape, anything that you would like to laminate with in order just to make it more sturdy. You can go ahead and do that now. So the next step to making our choice board, you can see that the images that I got off the internet, I printed them out. I did not have any cardstock, so what I'm going to do is take these images and I found an old folder here that was going to be trashed at our office. So I'm going to take my plain piece of white copy paper and I'm going to glue it onto this folder to make it a bit more sturdy. And actually what I can even do is glue this folder closed, and that makes it even more sturdy so that my kids don't tear them up, because sometimes they're doing chores, so they're not too gentle with the pictures. So I'm going to glue my folder together, and then I'm going to glue my page with my images on the folder. And then all I have to do is cut my images. I'm just going to cut through both the folder and the image at one time. And then whenever I get it all cut out, then I can take and run it through the laminator, and my picture will actually be sealed to the folder, and it will be really thick, like probably even thicker than cardstock would be. So here's my garbage can for take out the trash. And here's my dog for walk the dogs. And then this one doesn't really have a border on it, so I'm just going to guess. Here's my vacuum cleaner for vacuuming the house. So there we go. I have my 3 images. They're really thick right now, really sturdy. And so I'm going to take them now and I'm going to run them through my laminator over here. If you don't have a laminator, it's fine. Like we talked about before, you can always use contact paper. You can use packaging tape. You can even use Ziploc bags. So there's a lot of different things you can use if you don't have a laminator, so don't be discouraged by not having a laminator. And so now I'm going to run my images on the laminator. Cut the laminating film off, and then cut my images out. Just cut around the laminating film. So, after you finish, so you've printed out your images, or either you have your line drawings or your actual objects that you're going to use for your choice board. So now you can take and you can cut out any photos or symbols that you may need, and you can get them, if you need to glue them to anything to make them sturdier, you can use any kind of cardboard, old folders, anything, cereal boxes, egg crates, anything like that to make them a bit thicker. And then you can laminate using whatever materials you have available. And then we also have on our website, I have some templates for you, so you can print both of these out and do the same thing. You can glue them to a piece of an old folder or something if you don't have any cardstock, or you can print them on cardstock, cut around them, and laminate them. What I did was provide you with different numbers of arrays to be able to make your choice board. So if you have somebody that you want to choose from 9 items, then you can use this choice board, or you can put 4 items on this one. But what I'm going to use for my choice board is I'm going to use a paper plate, and I'll explain more about that whenever you finish laminating your photos. So if you do want to use these templates that we've provided, then you can go ahead and glue those to something sturdier and laminate those while you're doing your pictures. So go ahead and cut and do your laminating, and we're going to give you 20 minutes for that. If you are watching this as a self-study course, then go ahead and press pause on your video, and then you can come back and press play whenever you're done and move on to the next step. So now that we have our everything cut and laminated, then we're going to go ahead and do our last step, which is just putting it all together. So you can use sandpaper or an emery board, something to scratch up the surface where we have laminated so that your adhesive will stick. We're going to apply our adhesive, and then we'll be ready to use our choice board after we stick it all together. So the next step in making our choice board is that you can get a little piece of sandpaper or a nail file, emery board, something scratchy, and all the places that you've laminated, you can turn it over and just scratch up the surface of your laminating film a little bit, and that helps your adhesive to stick a little bit better. So I'm going to do that to my pictures. And after you get those scratched up, if you used some of the templates for the choice board that I posted on the site for the activity, then if you glued those and laminated those, then you can take and just scratch up the surface of those really quickly too with your sandpaper. But I'm not using those. What I'm going to use is, if you remember how we talked about during the training portion, we talked about presenting items in a different array, and we talked about how, sometimes we're unsure if a child is choosing an item based on, that's their real choice, or whether they're choosing, always choosing something that's on the right, or always choosing the one that's on the left. So I really like, with this particular child I'm working with, to be able to present things in a circle. And so what I like to use is a paper plate, and I like to put Velcro on my paper plate so that I can present things in a circle. And so what I typically do is I use my adhesive. If you don't have Velcro, don't worry about it. You can use sticky tack, magnetic tape, double-sided tape, anything that you can find that will be adhesive. And so I'm going to take my Velcro and I'm going to cut 3 pieces of Velcro. Three little squares. And so I still use the analogy soft stationery, so the plate is my stationery item. So I'm going to put the soft sides of the Velcro on my stationery piece, and the scratchy side on my picture. And then my picture will just stick to my plate. So, soft side again. If I can actually get the back of the Velcro off. There we go. So soft side again. I'm going to put it up here. sticks. And I'm going to put a soft piece. On this part of my paper plate. And the last scratchy piece on the back of my walking the dogs picture. So then now what you can do is you can have a choice board where it presents items in a different array, and you can have Velcro all around your paper plate and just stick items wherever you want. Or you can just have enough for the number of items you want to use for this particular choice. But it's nice to be able to present things in a manner to where you know that the child is not always picking the thing that's on the right. Because sometimes what happens is whenever we have choice boards like this one, is that you may have a child that picks what's in this space every time. And so with this one, you can kind of mix it up. Now, if you know that that they're really choosing what they want, but is in one particular space, then it's fine. Or you can even test it by putting it in this array to see which one they choose, to see which one they really do like. So go ahead and finish your choice board by using your sandpaper or your emery board to scratch up the surface of your laminated items, and then use your adhesive to be able to stick things to your board wherever you'd like it, and then you'll be ready to use your choice board. So you have 15 minutes, and if you are watching this self-study, then go ahead and press pause on the video and then come back whenever you're finished. So now that you have finished your choice board, do we have any questions from anyone? If you do have questions and you're watching this live, then you can call our teleconference line and we'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. If you're watching this self-study and you have questions about anything that we've gone over in this session, then go ahead and email me at kjames@cesa.org. That's KJAMES at CESA, SESA.org. And I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. Now, thank you very much for coming, and be sure to come back next month, and the date of our next session 7, is March 8th, 2011, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Phone line will be open at 5:15, and doors will be open at 5:15. And you can come live in person at our Anchorage or Fairbanks offices, or you can watch the live streaming on the internet or via video teleconference. The next topic is going to be supporting transitions, and we are going to make some transition tools. So also remember that you can always complete previous projects online as a self-study course, and then if you are doing this for course credit through UAF, then you can go back and complete the ones that you may have missed and do the assignments, turn them into me, and to get your credit. If you have not registered for the course but you still think you want to, then email me and I will see what we can do about that. And remember that there are materials kits available for free from our resource centers. So email Lyda at lbaker@cesa.org if you'd like to request a kit be mailed to you, and it will be free. And so thank you very much for coming, and we hope to see you back